Hi folks, it's Evo here from Thundermist Lure Company. Welcome to today's episode of Thundermist Fishing Tips. What a gorgeous day. We're on New York State waters here on the eastern basin of Lake Erie. Today folks, it's flat and calm and sunny. I'm gonna run the silver purple American Smelt. So let me get us into gear here. And I'm gonna use a technique called flatlining, which is probably one of the simplest techniques when it comes to fishing. And that is, just put the lure over the boat. I'm gonna let out about 120 to 150 feet. And then I'm just gonna slow troll along this shoreline. That's the technique, very, very simple. So I'm just gonna watch my spool as the spool unwinds here. When I get down to about, I know when I get down to about halfway, it's gonna be about 120 to 130 feet. So I'm just going to do that, let out some line. And I'm here in right now 26 feet of water. 26.3 to be exact. And I'm gonna weave in and out. I'm gonna weave in and out of 26. I'm gonna weave into 20 and back out to 25, 26. And this is the technique. I'm just gonna hold the fishing rod in my hand and I'm gonna keep my rod tip pointed down. So with the rod tip pointed down, that's gonna allow that American Smelt to dive as deep as it possibly can, which by the way is gonna be 20 feet. Could get a little deeper with thinner line, and under these conditions it might go 22, 23. But if I put the rod tip up higher, I'm gonna force it up higher, and I don't wanna do that. So I'm gonna keep the rod tip down. I'm gonna hold the rod in my hand because I wanna feel the bite and set the hook. And I'm moving along here right now at about 3 miles an hour. I don't know if my motor will go any slower today, but right now it's 3 miles an hour. And every so often I'm just going to kind of twitch, when I say twitch the lure. So just kind of twitch it and then pause, twitch it and pause, because there's rattles in there in the American Smelt, and you can, every time you twitch it like that, it sends a different sensation down the water. So anyways, that's going to be the technique. It's an absolutely gorgeous day, calm winds, sun's out, it's warm. What else can you ask for? Maybe a fish or two? Let's hope. Stay tuned, folks. When your rod doubles over like that, folks, you know you got a good fish. Oh my. And he hit hard. So I don't know if it's a walleye or a bass, but whatever it is, it's a good fish. Oh, I'm hoping it's a nice smallmouth. Look at that. This is unbelievable. He's got me doubled right over, folks. So how's the depth? I'm in 24 feet. So he caught me just on the weave a bit. And to be honest with you, it was just after I twitched my rod a bit, he hit. So I don't know if that triggered the bite, but I'm happy I did it. So he hasn't surfaced yet, so it might be a walleye. Usually the bass like to jump, but you never know, right? So he's staying down there. It could just be a big bass. Looks like he's coming up a bit. I'm guessing a bass. I'm gonna guess bass. That's my guess. Only because I see my line coming up a bit. Oh, now this American Smelt, I use this, it's funny. I use this bait for walleye, I use it for bass, I use it for trout, I use it for salmon. It's unbelievable the amount of fish that I've caught on this lure. Oh. And the fact that it dives so deep is just a bonus. Although there is a shallow dive model that only dives 2 feet, but today I want to get down deep, folks. Right down to the strike zone. These fish are holding on the bottom. He still hasn't surfaced, so maybe my guess of a bass is wrong. But these fish are just holding right on the bottom. There's rocks and different structure down here. And by weaving in and out of those different depths, it also puts my lure in a different position behind the boat with the motor, for the noise of the motor. Okay, this fish has got me really confused here. Is it a bass? or is it a walleye? And my first guess was the right guess. Oh, not only is it a bass, but it's a beauty. Oh my goodness. That's a tank. That's why my rod doubled over, folks. Right there. Oh, look at this fish. He's too big to even jump. Oh my. That's a tank. Oh, that's a 5-pound bass, folks, for sure. Oh, I just went and created myself a bird's nest. Okay, let's take a look at this fish. Oh yeah, seriously, hook's caught in the net there, but look at that. That's easy 5-pound. When you see these thick tails like this, see how thick and wide that tail is? That's the sign right there of a big, beautiful bass. Okay, so you know what I need, folks? First fish of the day, a photo for Facebook and Instagram, and we get this guy right back in the water again. And out he comes, and there we have it, folks. What a beautiful, that's all of 5 pounds, maybe more, maybe 5.5. What a gorgeous, gorgeous bass. Okay, gonna get him right back in. Big fish. Okay, see you later. Well, that was super exciting. When he hit, my rod just loaded up and doubled right over. Okay, let's get it back out there again. Back in we go. We're back in business. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna let out the same amount of line as I did last time, and the line I'm running is 100% fluorocarbon line. My ideal line for trolling is fluorocarbon or monofilament. When that fish hit, I was doing 3 miles an hour. The rod loaded right up, but there's a bit of stretch there and allows the fish to kind of grab the lure before I set the hook. If, however, you're trolling with braid, it's not a problem, but try to use a longer leader of mono or fluoro so you get a little bit of stretch, and then just hesitate when you set the hook and don't pull back really hard because there's zero stretch on that line. So my preference is fluoro or mono when it comes to trolling. Okay, so there we go. One more right there. Right there. Check the drag. We're good. Rod tip down. There we go. We are back in business, folks. And honestly, that took about 5 minutes to get that hit. That might be a great sign of good things to come. At least I hope so. All right, I'm in 24 feet. I'm gonna kind of work into 20, and then maybe I'm gonna swing around and go back to where that first fish came from. But let me work a little more up here before I do that. Okay, so I decided to change directions and come back the same way. And I also decided, I said, hey, I could troll with 2 lines out here on Lake Erie, so why not put a second line out and a different color? So the reason I went with the silver purple is because of the silver and this flash that we have with the sun out there. I thought, okay, I'm gonna go with silver purple. But then I thought for the second rod, the water is a bit murky out here. It's not as clear as it normally is on Lake Erie. So I thought, you know what I'm gonna say, go for the gold. And doesn't the gold produce? Now, he didn't jump, he's staying down there again, so it could be another bass, I'm not sure. But I'll get my other fishing rod out of the way, put it right there. That's the advantage of being able to fish with 2 fishing rods, which is really nice. He's fighting like a bass, folks. He's fighting like a bass. Now, when he hit, he didn't feel as big as strong as the first one, but could be deceiving as well. Okay. See here, check the drag. Come on, Mr. Smalley. Boy, they're strong, these fish, I tell you. Strong, strong fish. And they're not afraid to eat those American Smelts, which is a rather large lure, but I even use these for muskies. But it doesn't seem to deter the fish. Yeah, I see him down there. Definitely a bass. A nice smallmouth, and he's caught just in the side of the mouth there. And in the bag. Okay, that's a nice bass there. Isn't that a nice fish? about half the size of the other one, but we'll take them. All right, needle nose, let's get him off and get him right back in again. Okay, there's my gold. Get it out of the water, or get it out of the net. Okay, let's get that in. And another chunky smallmouth. Still, that's a beautiful, beautiful bass right there, folks. And look at the coloration on it. Okay, it's not as big as that first one, but still got a big, thick tail. Beautiful, beautiful bass. And away he goes. Okay, got my Thundermist microfiber towel. I love how absorbent these towels are. Okay, so you know what that means, folks. I'm gonna keep with the 2-rod strategy and continue trolling. Might as well continue in this direction. So we'll get the first line in, and then we'll get the second line in. But you know what, folks? Flat line trolling. Get your lures down to the strike zone. That's the key. Weave in and out of different depths. And if you can find an area that has rocks or structure, definitely want to troll over top of those areas. And the other thing, that little twitching I do, it also makes it look like, first of all, the lure looks like an injured bait fish, but when you twitch it, it looks like an injured bait fish trying to get away. It's kind of darts, and that helps trigger bites as well. Well, wherever you are, wherever you're tuning in from, folks, give flatline trolling a try. If you're allowed to fish with 2 rods, why not? If not, 1 rod will do. But that one's in. Let's get the other one in, and we're back in action. But if you get an opportunity, folks, it doesn't get any simpler than this. Flatline trolling. Give it a try. And let me get that untwisted. I'm going to keep trolling away here, and I'm already off to a great start today. I know I'm going to have myself a great day. Catching fish is also always a bonus. Enjoying the day is the #1 thing to do. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode, folks, of Thundermist Fishing Tips. And as always, until next time, good luck, good fishing.